welcome back to Little Side Note with Maya and
When
so today we're gonna discuss about something that we did talk about on a small Discord session I think around this last Sunday.
hmm so it
So
was
we're
it was inspired by um, our younger juniors, let's say.
mm-hmm.
So in our Discord session, we discussed about how literature and art is like frowned upon in our society. Um, I would say that
Okay, I'll say this. It is not quite the stable income that every family does wish for their future children to get.
mm-hmm,
It's more of a hit or miss where if you really do get, if you're really, really talented,
mm-hmm,
then you might have a chance in making it like, oh, for instance, um, a few artists like, oh, that uh, I think like I don't know why my brain is thinking about influences right now because it is one of the it
yeah,
is kind of
yeah,
artistic, but influences are one of the ones that like are super big when they do make it.
mm-hmm,
They are in a way it is a form of art. They're expressing themselves, and then like ones like Sainia where she's not exactly the the fit and pretty and slim type where you show all the glamorous of life, but she's
mm-hmm,
someone who's relatable, and
yeah.
that's why everyone just loves her as an influencer in general.
Yeah, and I think her whole personality is very charismatic. I
Yeah,
like
she.
watching her. Like it doesn't feel like she's trying so hard to be an influencer. It's just she's like sharing her own experience with everybody.
Yeah, like it feels like talking to a friend sometimes, or it's like, oh, I'm just bothering you with this text of what my food looks like. Yo, hello, what's
Mhm.
up? Except for the parts where she's promoting other stores. Other than that, that's
Mhm.
the only thing that I feel like, oh, everything else is just like normal content for her.
Yeah. And I feel like there are some like illustrators that got famous. I'm sorry if I butchered the name, but I think Saint.
Saint, oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I know
Saint.
Saint. Saint is
Yeah,
really, I love seeing it on Facebook.
I think it kind of got like the whole illustrator thing kind of got off because of him. Like
Mm,
he makes relatable stuff.
yeah. I love looking at Saint's comics, like short strips or just small designs.
Mm.
It's cute, it's simple, it's just really nice.
Mm.
Um, I do know one illustrator that I saw, like, oh, I felt like he did make it quite big internationally because
Mhm.
9gag did share his work, and that's how
Mhm.
I knew about it. It's Wisot Kavai. I'm sorry if I butchered the name, but I think that's him. He does like some like Khmer we call it chlak. It's
Mhm.
so in English it's more like I guess
Calligraphy.
calligraphy kind
Yeah.
of way. It's not exactly words, it's just designs, but in a
Mhm.
way that looks like cursive and stuff at the traditional Cambodian style. And then he incorporates it into artwork.
Mhm. I
So it's
think
like all small details and then one big picture of everything.
yeah, I think in terms of art, even our music industry right now is kind of booming with Time to
Yeah.
Rise.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm actually really glad that the younger generations are trying to create something instead of the usual like studying to be a doctor, a lawyer, or even an IT person.
Yeah.
I would say that I studied IT because it was like half for my family and half for myself. I knew that
Mm.
being an IT person, I can create something,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also like a skill.
Mm.
So it's like an in between thing. I actually don't like coding that all that much. I would actually prefer it if I actually went into game design instead of like coding.
Mm.
And but I know that it's not possible, as you know it's very taboo in Cambo to kind of like they I don't know, it's just they think that having like talent to draw and things like that are useless.
Yeah, I think like okay, like I know historically we were really really proud
Mhm.
of how our alt culture was, like our literature was great, our art forms, like look at all the sculptures and details on Angkor Wat and other temples.
Mhm.
It was one of the pride of our country.
Mhm.
But as the years go by, we realize how behind we are technology wise. So
Mhm.
art wasn't a factor that was really pushed anymore.
Mhm.
Like you don't see, like even the education system now, you don't see them pushing um, creative writing going out of the box.
Yeah.
They're just standardizing a format of writing that they want you to do, and then making it, I don't know how, but like spicing it up with the previous famous literature and making it really good.
Mhm.
There is no inspiration of writing creative writings anymore, so
Yeah.
like
Like
like yeah.
even with the way we study like Khmer literature, we always read the same books and again and again and again, and there's no new stories.
Yeah, true. It's just like I feel like in like as far as I remember was like fourth grade. That was when we started getting into the Khmer literature
Mhm.
books,
Mhm.
and then it was like a good rotation of two or three over the years, and then they added some more later on. And then when you get to ninth grade till 12th grade, where you're basically preparing for the national exam, you're just
Mhm.
repeating everything but in more detail.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
so yeah, like whenever I think about Khmer literature, I always think of Tum Tio. I think mostly people think
Yeah.
about that. Like, for those who don't know, Tum Tio is like Romeo and Juliet, but in Khmer version.
Yeah. Yeah, that I also remember like the Golap Island, which is also another famous literature here.
Mhm.
It's studied, it's laced within our education system.
Mhm. Um, I've always wanted to do something creative. Like I enjoyed. So when I was younger, um, my cousin was kind of like he's older than us, so he was the one who was kind of directing everything, and we would make like little short stories.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I just feel like if I had the chance to choose again, I would have went into something more creative.
Mm.
I just maybe it's just my whole personality where I don't think like I want to be in a box,
Mm.
but at the same time, I actually have no talent and skill to actually pursue like a creative career.
Okay. So I personally, I mean, I think everyone does. We all want to be more creative in a sense
Mhm.
because creativity makes us unique, makes us interesting, and all that. I myself, I wanted to be more creative, but I gotta admit that my taste or my talent or and my skill is not like all that great in the creative aspect. Like I remember in freshman year, I had this um, business administration class. It was an intro class,
Mhm.
and the professor was trying to talk us out of staying in within like the box. So
Mhm.
he really encouraged us to like maybe add another major or minor.
Mhm.
So he showed us a diagram, and I will always remember the diagram. One circle is your passion, one circle is your skill, the other circle is your talent, and
Mhm.
it all meets in the middle. So you gotta find that sweet spot where your talent, your skill, and your passion all intertwine.
I don't
You
think
cannot
I've
live off. Hmm.
I don't think I've found it yet. I mean,
Yeah.
like I do enjoy like a minor it's called UX and UI design in IT, which is essentially like user interface, like to make your
Yeah.
whole lives easier
Yeah.
in terms of navigating. But it's like a minor thing only, and there's no course that actually teaches you like a full 3 years. So yeah, in a way, it's like I also took IT so that I can enjoy the minors that I wanted. But then
Mm-hmm.
the downside of it is I have to do other things that I don't like.
You can't just get all the good, you gotta get some of the bad too.
Yeah, I mean, not to like sound spoiled, because I know that a lot of people would like the opportunity to study IT, I guess. But I don't know, it's just a lot of logic which I don't like. I'm telling you, the assignment I'm working on, we have three different machines with the same code and three different errors. So, yeah.
Good luck, bro. Good luck. Um, okay, we're going off topic again. So, back to the art topic. So, yeah, I do feel like people who do have the skill and the passion
Mhm.
and the talent really should consider like trying to pursue it, even though I know generally Cambodians don't really encourage it.
Mhm.
So, like, there's a lot of other options that you could consider. For instance, a dual degree or even a small course to test it out. Or you can also do it as a minor. You don't necessarily have to stick like, oh, you had a preconception where only business will bring you money. Like, no, the world doesn't work that way.
Mhm.
In fact, I've been told by some of my professors that, oh, if you have a degree in, for instance, finance,
Mhm.
but you have a double major or you have a minor in studio arts,
Mhm.
they'll be more interested in you as a company, because it shows that you are not only a person who's like stuck in a box that
Mhm.
only just wants to do this thing and not explore and venture and make the company better, but you are a person who strive for other things. You
Mhm.
explore, you learn.
Mm. On that note, I think it's also important, not just in uni, but like in high school where you do extracurricular stuff. So with extracurriculars, um, I don't know about you, but I did a lot of extracurricular, and I realized coming here that maybe it's just an abroad thing. They actually value more of your outside work than your actual studies. I think, well, not like entirely, but they look at you as a person and they're like, oh, you also went volunteering or you did something for your school. So it means
Mm.
like you're not just trying to get good grades.
Yeah.
So yeah, do more extracurricular. Don't just sit there and study.
Mm.
Oh,
I. Mm?
oh, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do know that our school did encourage a lot of extracurriculars, which technically we didn't know were extracurriculars because they made it mandatory, but
Yeah.
we can classify it as extracurriculars. But when I was doing at like the missions and stuff, I did not think that it was like all that big
Mhm.
until I came here and I was told like, oh, extracurriculars really do get you a long way.
Mhm.
Other than grades, you need them too.
Mhm.
So I do say like, oh, it did boost up. Maybe it did boost up my application a bit. I don't know, to be
Mhm.
honest,
Mhm.
because I don't have the person who was reviewing my application and then be like, I cannot ask them what did I do wrong. So it's like, yeah, interesting. But I do say like, for at least for America, people do emphasize extracurriculars, like going to clubs and volunteering.
By clubs, we don't mean like drinking clubs. We actually
No, no,
meant
no.
like
like a club where you're focused on one
Yeah.
activity. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, still not drinking.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to like creativity. Do you have like a creative outlet? Cause I don't.
I did dabble with music when I was younger because I did want
Mhm.
to like have this feeling that I can create or the skill of making music.
Mhm.
So I did try to learn piano for like 2 summers, but it didn't
Mhm.
feel right. Like
Mhm.
it felt more like a chore because I was really taking a class and I wasn't
Oh.
doing it for my own passion. I'm not doing all the songs that I like. I was studying all these classical songs, which the kid version of Maya did not really like. So didn't feel all that great. It wasn't all that fun.
Mhm.
But then in like middle school, I tried guitar just because my brother knew how to. He was taking guitar when I was taking piano. So
I see the
yeah.
stereotype.
So I got like guitar was there, so I tried it and then I played a few like of the popular songs or like
Mhm.
easy songs
Mhm.
like Oh Baby by Justin Bieber as a beginner, and then I started learning to play some Ed Sheeran songs which I
Mhm.
love to listen to. So yeah, it got me started on like learning it as like a hobby, but instead
Mhm.
of learning it as like a real serious class, I learned songs.
Mhm.
And then as I was learning songs, like you pick up a few things as you go, like the
Mhm.
strummings and the chords and how to place your fingers. There are tutorials everywhere, so it was just like
Mhm.
wide access. It was easy. After that, I did drop it after studying,
Mhm.
and during the pandemic, the first time I went through lockdown, I dabbled with Spark AR, which is a free Facebook application that
Mhm.
encourage people to create your own filters.
Oh,
Yeah, so I
didn't
had
know that.
fun there. Yeah, if you're ever bored, you should try because there's no coding involved.
Mhm.
It's just like, oh, if you have drawn, if you don't like, okay, it's really flexible. If you don't draw like me, you can
Mhm.
just pull stuff off the internet,
Mhm.
um, Photoshop it a bit, and then like try to shape it to your imagination.
Mhm.
But if you could know how to do 3D modeling and stuff, this application could go really far. Mm-hmm.
I was like, I think I remember our class had a time where we were kind of obsessed with learning guitar. Like, everyone was
Yeah.
buying it. I tried learning, but then it was, I don't know, like my fingers are fat and short. And like I can't practice it at home. My mom doesn't like music.
Mm.
And so and it got frustrating for me because I couldn't get it right away.
Mm.
It sounds like I'm super impatient, but I think when I'm learning something, I would like to like get it right away.
Yeah, no, I too have that temper, to be honest. I think that was kind of why piano was ticking me off so much because
Mm,
piano is a matter of like tempo right, getting the tempo right, and it's not just like easy where guitar you just push your arms up and
yeah.
down strumming the strings. You need to like control your brain like which fingers to press at what time and what pace to be
Hmm.
correct.
For those who wants to learn some, okay, there's a game engine called Unity, or you can use Unreal Engine. It doesn't necessarily require coding, but uh, you can use that to design your first game, I would say. There's a lot of tutorial on YouTube, and going to uni, and if you want to do like game designs, creating your own game, going to uni doesn't work because they only teach you like basic things, and their whole entire goal is to not like teach you how to make a game. It's just teaching you so that you know the basics of every language. So if you do
Mm.
enjoy or want to like dabble a little bit into game design, I would suggest you should use Unity or Unreal.
Mm. I feel like I wish there was a like okay, yes, there is the internet, but I wish that there is like a platform where there is just a list of stuff or like just a general bubble of like the names of the stuff that you could try or you should explore.
Mm.
Because I would have never known, like for instance I could have loved craft, but I
Oh.
didn't know it was a thing. Like I did enjoy crafting when we were in art class.
Mm-hmm.
I really really enjoyed it, but I didn't know that it was like a legit thing later on in life. So I was like, I really did wish that I knew of all these things that they existed. Like, for instance, I didn't know scrapbooking was a thing until I came abroad.
Okay. Yeah, this is something new I'm learning.
Yeah, it's more like I wish that there is a platform that could like give an intro of what it is,
Mm.
showing the results and giving examples, so that people would know that, oh, okay, I can explore this while I'm studying, because I did feel like studying in Cambo was too focused on studying. There was
Mm-hmm.
nothing else than that.
I mean, you have the idea, so I guess that's a business idea you should take on.
Oh, you're gonna see me on Shark Tank later on. But I
But
think my passion would just generally be binging.
mm, I would say I like to do a lot of things like, but my attention span doesn't allow me to, like, it's kind of like I get obsessed with one thing, but once I actually stop paying attention to it, I find it boring. So
I think it's not to that point, no?
I don't know, but I have like bursts of interest, but then once it gets too like difficult, I'm just like nah.
Oh, don't worry. I feel the same. So I guess it's just more of like, are you willing to push through that hurdle and
Mhm.
get to a point where you know more than the majority?
Mhm.
Like, mm. But when you first mentioned it, I was thinking back to how I used to love to read.
Mm.
It was somewhat my stress reliever because I just love how books and stories take me away from reality.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like going back to what I said, I had this, like I had this, like a few weeks ago. I was like so obsessed with reading,
Yeah.
and now I'm like, should I start a new book? Maybe not. I read enough.
I think
So,
it's
yeah.
yeah, it's okay to be honest. I do pick up and drop off reading
Mhm.
throughout the times. Like I was really obsessed with it at one point, but then
Mhm.
I started binge watching, so I didn't have time for that anymore because I wanted to binge watch more. But then I
Yeah.
got sick of binge watching, so I go back to reading.
I think that's how like I can talk to people a lot about a lot of things. Like I used to watch anime, and then I eventually got
Mm.
tired of it. And then I watched K drama, and then eventually I got tired of it. And then I like play games, and then I got tired of that game, and then I start a new game, and then like
Mm.
the cycle. I mean, like I don't know anything in depth, but I just like know enough to talk about something.
A jack of all trades, but a master to none. Of none.
Okay,
I forgot that phrase.
I actually like that
Like,
nickname. Maybe I should name that character um, when I play a new game.
I do think that I am not an expert in anything, but I do feel okay. This is like, oh, majority of people would say you want to be a professional at one thing to know it like the back of your hand, but I do feel like I want to know a little bit of almost everything. which is why I do try to keep up with what's trending, what's in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I'm not doing it because I have FOMO, but it's more like I want to be able to connect with people easily, to have something to be able to talk to, like, oh, I could talk to most girls about skincare.
Mm-hmm.
I could talk to most girls about celebrity gossip.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I don't have an interest in cars, but I do see like all my friends. She's like a car expert. She is to the point where we're in like a two-story building,
Mm-hmm.
and we're on the top floor. We're in class, and then she just hears the engine,
Oh
and she
God.
knows which car it is. She knows which model and which car it is, and I'm like, okay, you sick.
I think the only interesting thing, no, the only thing that keeps me consistently interested is sports.
Mm.
I would say, specifically basketball. I don't know why. I know I'm like super tiny, but yeah, I never get tired of it. I don't know why.
Mm. I I think if I really dive deep into what I'm always obsessed with, overall it's just stories. Like,
Mm.
oh, when I'm binging something, I love stories. The stories of the fake reality of a happy ending or something just twisting. And then books, same thing. I only read fiction.
When you
Manga and
told
anime,
me
it explains itself.
when you told me you enjoy watching movie, I thought about remember I posted a story on Little Side Note, our Instagram, about Raya and her
Yeah,
dad didn't stir
yeah.
the soup.
It
Like,
was
oh
Machu,
my
right?
God. I think so. It triggers me
Yeah.
so much. I don't know why. And I feel like nowadays when I watch movie, I'm always kind of like picking up these like triggering things. Like this guy, or maybe that this guy in a horror movie does something stupid and I'm like, why the fuck would you do that?
For me, I feel like I'm the type of watcher that just glides through. I won't notice too much detail because I don't want to break the glass of like
Yeah.
shattering my dream of this being a perfect reality. So I just shut down my brain and watch like endlessly and let their imagination flow through. And that it's like, okay, hear me out. I know it's like stupid to think that, oh, a ghost could live right next to you or sit right next to you right now, just
Yeah.
making funny faces. But don't you think that's such an amazing viewpoint? Like someone can literally imagine a world out of nothing. It's just the
True.
power of the mind. There, you would never think of a dragon if um if that person wasn't like creative. I'm still questioning if a dragon is real.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they thought of a dragon because they saw lizards. Who knows?
And that's why art is important.
Yeah.
Like the whole like storytelling and stuff is so fascinating. Like I can't write for shit. Like I go through like we're all normal people going through life, but I don't know. Maybe we were programmed to kind of like see things realistically.
Mm.
I'm jealous of the people who have like these creative ideas in their head. Like they see like an object and suddenly draw an illustration about it becoming alive, or like a storyline somewhere in their head when they see two people, you know, like, yeah, mind blowing.
Yeah. Like their mind is so, it runs so fast.
Mm-hmm.
It forms such easy logics and connections, and it somehow all makes sense into a beautiful story.
Yeah. So I would say that if you were trying to pursue art and literature, you should go for it. Like even
Yeah.
in terms of like architecture. It is a form of
Mhm.
art.
Mhm.
Like you've seen like super nice buildings,
Mhm.
and that's art. Like I know there's like a lot of calculation and stuff, but that's still art.
Yeah, true. I I also want to add in that also consider fashion if you really do enjoy it.
Oh,
Maybe
true.
you have interest in becoming a designer. Um, yeah. So you don't know
Yeah,
unless you try.
I
Mhm.
have a specific request. So if you are going to fashion, please make smaller sizes for me. I'm so tiny.
When I gotta tell you, I go shop in the kids section sometimes
Same.
because I don't fit in the pants.
I'm telling you, I shop in the kids section, but the boys section, and their largest size is still bigger than me.
Ah, it's okay, dude. It's okay. Oh, should we wrap this up?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
it's short episode, but I think this episode wasn't like any other episode where um, we were kind of like joking a lot. I feel like this episode was more like talking about studying in general.
Mm, yeah. I think it's just because we were influenced, like we thought about it
Mm.
after listening to a couple kids struggling
Mhm.
to break through somewhat of
Mhm.
the glass ceiling of the Asian majors.
Mhm. I would say that
So
they're braver than us.
yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
And yeah, it's good that the younger generations, I mean, we are the younger generations as well, are thriving. So just like if you are sure that you want to pursue art, just do it.
Yeah, and if like I mean, you want to be realistic about it because
Mhm.
I know we live in a like developing country and all. So
Mhm.
options are open. You can do double majors, online courses, certificate courses. It's an option. It's widely available. There's Skillshare, there's Coursera, there's Udemy. It's everywhere. You just need to search for it.
Oh, I think the recording will pick up um, bell sounds, and for you who don't know, it's literally the tram downstairs.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. So if you enjoy listening to us, you can follow us on Instagram at Little Side Note Podcast. On Facebook and YouTube, it's Little Side Note the Podcast. Oh, and I forgot, we also have a Spotify. Little Side Note the Podcast as well. And you can email us at littlesidenote@gmail.com. Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
for now.
All
Yeah.
all of this is in our Instagram. We have a link in bio where it'll take you to everything if you want to check it out. You can come and text us anytime. We are open to Discord, so
Yeah.
hit us
Oh,
up.
you can also like request a call if you want to. Like,
Yeah.
if we are free, we can come and join you guys to talk about what you want to talk about.
Mhm.
Mhm. So I guess we'll see you next week as always. Bye.
Bye.